Hello, welcome to another edition of What is Happening in Brazil, a show where you get updates on the latest from Brazil as well as discover some interesting facts about the country. Check out the week's latest news.
April 17th is a day considered symbolic for the agrarian struggle in the country. The date marks the Eldorado dos Carajás massacre in the state of Pará in the north of the country that happened in 1996. On that day, 21 farmers were killed by the military police. 24 years later, conflicts over land continue to worsen under the ultra-right-wing government of Jair Bolsonaro. According to a report published by the Pastoral Land Commission, 2019 will go down in history as one of many tragedies. Compared to 2018, there was a 14% increase in rural murders. The number of conflicts also went up in 2019, 23% more than the previous year. The president's discourse against residents of farming communes once belonging to freed slaves, known as quilombolas, against indigenous and traditionalist communities is seen as one of the main factors behind the increase. The coronavirus situation in Brazil is ever more dire. There have been more than 2,000 deaths and 30,000 cases. However, this number could be 15 times larger, according to researchers. The discrepancy in the numbers can be attributed to testing delays, as well as under-notification. The disease's peak is expected to arrive in May. To stem the advance of COVID-19, the response has been undertaken in large part at the state and municipal levels. President Jair Bolsonaro has positioned himself against the recommendations from the World Health Organization and has called the illness a little flu. These actions have caused indignation among the ranks of the judicial and legislative branches. Under pressure from Congress and the population, the government approved a universal basic income of 600 reais, roughly $120. To deal with this difficult situation, a large portion of the population, especially social movements, are helping each other through deeds of solidarity that are spreading throughout the country. Homeless, without adequate food and with difficulties maintaining hygiene, street dwellers are even more vulnerable during the novel coronavirus pandemic. It's with this backdrop that social movements and NGOs from Recife in the state of Pernambuco decided to engage in actions of solidarity. With the Solidarity Meal campaign, more than 30,000 meals have been distributed to the city's homeless. Paulo Mansan, head of the Landless Workers Movement of Pernambuco, explains that a whole support network has been created to further the project.
We've had the Archdiocese and the Unified Group for the Homeless sign up, which totals more than 50 entities providing this charity service.
To minimize the risk of infection, protective measures are being taken, respecting the guidelines set forth by health authorities.
Our main is with the homeless population. So according to WHO guidelines, we put people in line 2 meters apart from each other and also have volunteers and fences to keep the lines organized and make sure our workers are not as exposed during the process. All our volunteers wear personal protective gear such as masks, gloves, and we have plenty of hand sanitizer. And all our spaces are sterilized twice a day.
The groups have made an effort to mobilize even more volunteers. According to organizers, anybody can come and help, as long as they are not part of the high-risk groups. Shari Almeida is one of these people, who began participating after discovering the organization online.
We are here to try and help, be it with our arms as a volunteer or with donating items people may need. Therefore, we want more people to come here and feel this human spirit that's so necessary at the moment.
With a musical style self-defined as cosmic, Xênia França was born in Camaçari, in the countryside of the state of Bahia. However, it was in São Paulo, starting in 2004, that she built up her musical career. In 2018, she was nominated for a Grammy for Best Portuguese Song and Best Modern Pop Album. Daughter of oil workers, she talks about the many ways in which her musical references as well as Black ancestry incite her artistic production. Check it out in our Culture Talk segment.
A lot of people come to me and ask me what my musical genre is, and I can never define it. I don't like being a person, an artist, who is labeled as something. I really like to be free, to do what I like. Saying that my music is cosmic is in part an expression, really, the expression of the potential of every human being. We are potentially full of possibilities. Many times we are not aware of this. We are not aware of the choices we have, or many times we cannot make those choices. So I think music gave me that as a force, as a goddess, as a phenomenon really, that I open up to me. I am willing to listen. I wanna listen.
A ouvir, tô a fim de ouvir.
Te levo até o céu. Não vou pousar de ser perfeita pra você.
Eu entendi que era
I would like to reshape the ancestry of this place as something from the past, as if it were in the past. I see my colleagues and myself in action and constant dating. This is the ancestry of now, as in, what was done in the past being called on and practiced right now, in an attempt to plan our future, which till not long ago, or for many realities, is something remote, right? Thinking about the future.
Remoto, assim, pensar no futuro.
Pode chegar quando chispar a nave eu vou cruzar a órbita pro novo mar que a nossa lua transbordou, vazou, pode correr que lá só vai crescer amor.
Eu me vejo uma mulher negra.
In this contest, I see myself as a black woman, a black girl, who came from a different reality in Bahia, with a strong black presence, with a strong black culture, very much imbued, very much present, and I saw that I could express there here in São Paulo. I could see myself from the outside, as if seeing myself through a camera, and that time had come for me to tell people who I am, to tell São Paulo with all the tools it gave me over the years, tell São Paulo that I exist, that I am possible.
Que eu existo, que eu sou possível.
Every week in our Brazilianism segment, we show you the flavors and sounds of Brazil. Take a look.
My name is Rosiane. We are in Bahia and I'm gonna show an arrumadinho. Here we have the green beans cooked with onions, coriander and black pepper. Here we have the beef jerky and calabrese sausage, which we'll place all together on the fire. It takes more or less 30 minutes for this part to be done. Let it fry a bit to give it some flavor. First, I'll put in the beans. Then, we'll place the jerky and calabrese inside. The final touch on our dish is the vinaigrette sauce on top. Just add some hints of olive oil on top and your arrumadinho is ready to be enjoyed.
Let's say goodbye for now. We hope you enjoyed it. See you soon!